Yeah, hi, Jan here from Music Stuff Germany, and we're here with Tito from Tito and Tarantula, and he's nice enough to give us a little interview. So, how
Nice
are
to
things
be
going?
Good. We're on, I guess, almost the 3/4 of the tour. We have 33 shows in Europe, and everything was going real smoothly in the first week. But our guitar player, he broke his ankle.
Oh.
So that was weird. But we just, he can't be on the tour. He's still in the hospital, actually.
Okay.
But me and Marcus have been playing so many years together. We took over because there were 3 guitars. Now there's only 2.
Yeah. So you have to do some little rearrangements.
Yes, I had to learn the After Dark solo.
Okay.
It's not as good as Pete's, but it's as good as I can play. So it's fun to do, actually. I'd never, really played it before once in a while, but not all the time, not every night.
Is this some of the nice parts of being on tour, that always there are things happening you never expected, and then you
Yes.
just have to arrange with it?
Yes, that's true. And that is the most interesting part, in a way. Those are the things that you don't forget.
Yeah.
And it happens in music too, when you have a song and then there's an accident or a mistake, and the mistake ends up being the most interesting part of the song. It's cool.
So you're not so much into constructing a song, but just let the feelings show you what the song should sound like.
Yeah, I sometimes think that songs have their own voice, and they tell you what they want, where they want you to go. So I'm pretty open when I start recording. I mean, the idea is there, but it's mostly the spirit, and then that dictates what happens.
Are there special times in your life where you say, normally new ideas come when I'm at home or on tour or something, or is it just it happens all the time?
No, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
In my case, my mind is always going, and I don't always write them down or everything, but and I forget a lot of them. But when I do, they come in a lot, like it's like a bag of candy. They're just one after another.
Yeah. So you don't have like a little recorder with you on tour, and if something comes to your mind, you say, "Oh, I'm."
Yeah, lately I have been doing that, but now I have so many ideas, I don't even know what to pick.
Okay.
So in a way, it's like a nightmare.
Yeah, but maybe it's still better than having no ideas.
At all, yes.
Yeah.
You're right about that, yeah.
Let my arms retreat. Let my eyes be green. Let my hair be a bed of roses. Let my lips kiss the ocean.
Can you tell us a little bit about the equipment you're using on this tour?
Yes, this guitar is a new guitar by Duesenberg. It's called the Paloma.
Yeah.
And the Dieter, I met many years ago when he was starting his company. He had a band, and he would play After Dark in this show. So he came to our show one night, and he brought me a guitar, and he says, "I'm starting a guitar company."
Okay.
And so we've been friends for a long time. He's always trying to get me to play Doors. He says I should have a Doors cover band. But I talked to him before this tour, and he said, "I made this new guitar. My girlfriend's name is Paloma, and it's red, like Spanish red, and like the bullfighting." And he said, "And you should try this guitar." So when I came to Germany, he sent it to me,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like 2 single coil pickups, like a Strat, and then this just a humbucker,
Yeah.
But it has this really interesting switch for the pickups.
Yeah.
So you have these, 3 different settings. And the beautiful thing is his tremolos.
Yeah.
They're so, I don't know how to describe them. They're very different than other tremolos, and they feel organic. Kind of, I have many old guitars. Like I have an old Gretsch from the 60s. I used to have a collection of Gretsch guitars, but I had to sell them. In the 80s, I sold so many because I needed to pay my rent. But it's similar to the Bigsby, but not. It's sort of more, I don't know, intuitive. It's really a special tremolo.
Yeah, and what would you say is the best about Duesenberg guitars? Is it the look or the sound or just the whole concept?
Well, what's interesting in the beginning, the feel was what was extraordinary. A lot of new guitars don't feel the way his guitars do. They have a classic feel to them. Of course, they're beautiful, but the pickups, I don't know, I meant to ask Dieter, they've changed. Like last year I had 2 other Duesenbergs that I really like the pickups. They're different now, and I don't know what he did, but he changed something, and whatever he did, it's for the better. I like them more. Some of the Duesenbergs that I own quite a few. The pickups are really great, but I think they need seasoning or something. Most of them are really excellent. But you know, I have a 57 Les Paul. I have a 62 Stratocaster. I have, many old instruments, and so it's hard to compete with these classic sounds. But it's rare when you find a person who can make that feel like a classic pickup, and he's done it. He did it for the last couple of years. He's done it.
And I guess you don't want to take like a 57 Les Paul on tour.
No. You know, I didn't used to bother me. I used to take it with me. And my thin line, I have a original 69 thin line. And it never bothered me, my 62L Strat, you know. But if you look at old videos coming to Germany, you see me playing all those guitars. But as the time goes on, and the value goes up of the instrument, you kind of hesitate. And when we were in Italy in the 90s, my thin line got stolen.
Okay,
and that scared me.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. 3 months later, on the road, I get a phone call, and the police, somebody saw my guitar. I had a pink Stratocaster. It's hanging in a music store.
Okay.
And then he said, I saw that's Tito's guitar. So he called the police, and they found the guy lived down the street. He had my other guitar, my thin line.
Okay.
So I got it back, which is a miracle.
And are you playing this amp you're sitting on?
Yes, I'm playing this amp. It's a 62 or 63 Vox Amp, and I've used it most of the time I play in Germany. And I bought one in Berlin also, a 65, but that one I took home. And this one belongs to Marcus, but it's a very special amp. It's a workhorse. I've used it every year. We've been here almost for 20 years. We've been coming, and it's amazing that it still works.
But it also looks like an old amp should look like.
Yes, it's done a lot of traveling.
Yeah. And when it comes to effects, is this your effects board?
Yeah, I never used to use effects. I would only use the tremolo and just one chord. But as my tuning pedals and all that, I never used to use those. I just would have the guy give me a tuned guitar because I didn't like pedals. But now that I'm playing solos, I have a wah-wah pedal that's really nice. I just got it. And it's, I don't even know the name of it, but it's very, very cool, and it sounds really good. And then I just bought this analog delay, and this I got from Duesenberg, the tremolo. And of course the tube screamer, which I never used to use. I just use my volume. So I turn everything all the way to 10, and then just play here. But now I'm using this, which I like. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Just to keep the volume of the amp a little bit lower, or just to get a little more
Yeah, well, then I don't have to scare everybody when I turn it up all the way.
Yeah.
Because everybody complains I get too loud. So this helps me keep my tone and energy the right way, but not so loud. And then this little thing I bought as a gift for my daughter, and I liked it. And
Yeah.
so,
That are the best presents.
yeah.
When you think about a present for yourself and then
Yeah,
you give it to
yeah,
someone.
and
Oh,
then
you don't like it?
yeah,
It's okay.
No, I had to buy her another one.
Okay.
Or I guess I bought myself one. But this is cool because you can program it through your pickup.
Okay.
You pick a reverb and then you play it through your pickup and it goes to there and it changes.
Okay.
It's
So when
really
you
cool.
switch pickups.
No, you can do it with any guitar.
Okay.
So you have your phone and you go beep and it sends a signal.
Smartphone and it sends
Yeah,
the signal.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I can change the reverb. But you can't do it while you're on stage.
Yeah.
You have to make the choice before the show.
Yeah.
But it's nice. I like it.
And you're using a Shure SM57 for your vocals, or is it just
Always.
Yeah.
Forever I've used these. But we have to carry like 6 or 7 of them
Okay.
because every night I blow them. So I wish Shure would endorse me because I've bought thousands of mics from them. I've used them forever and I control them. You know, I like this better than the 58 or the Beta.
Yeah, maybe
There's-
when they see this video.
Yeah, maybe they'll send me a letter. But I like it because, one, I like the plastic ring from Shock, you know.
Yeah.
The metal ring, in the old punk days, I was always getting shocked. But mostly because the consonants of what you're singing are more precise.
Yeah.
So you hear the T's and the C and all the consonants much clearer. So the lyric, if I hear the lyric clear, I play better, I feel better, because I know that what I'm trying to say, or if the story is clear to the audience, I feel the difference. I think it's psychological.
Yeah.
But I also like the play of it, like going in for the deeper notes and further for the things. So I really like it.
Yeah, and when it comes to hearing, you are preferring stage monitors instead of in-ear.
Yeah, I prefer one monitor. I don't like two, because one of my ears probably is a little more deaf than this one, or they're different. I don't know if I'm deaf, but I notice when I have two, it doesn't sound.
Yeah.
I can't focus. But if I have one, it's like mono, and it's real clear.
Okay.
So I like just one monitor.
Yeah.
And the in-ears, I tried them once, but I'm just too old-fashioned, I guess.
Yeah, but if it works for you, why change anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and would you say there are songs when you're playing live you just have to play because the audience would otherwise say, "Oh, he
I
didn't
spent
play."
20 euros and they didn't play After Dark.
Yeah, maybe this.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote After Dark in 1981 before Robert was probably 2 years old or something. So it's a very old song and I've been playing it forever, even before the movie. So, and people always like this song. So to me, it doesn't seem that weird to play it every night.
Yeah.
I mean, if AC/DC didn't play Highway to Hell, would you be upset? Probably.
Yeah. So maybe it's like one of your child's. So when you live with like 30, 40 years with one song.
It means something to the audience. And really, that's why we're here. We're here so that the audience forgets their problems. They come to the show and have fun. Because the next week, it's another band, So it's you, but it's more about them. It's more about making the audience forget their problems that week. And if they don't hear the song that they, fell in love with a girlfriend, or they beat up a guy and, and become the hero, I don't know, then it's disappointing to them. So I understand that. And for me, it's not hard, especially After Dark, because we like people to dance and we bring them up on stage. It's actually the most fun song we have when we play, because we get to see everybody else do, silly things, and we talk about it after in the tour bus.
Yeah. So no frustration
No.
that they don't like maybe the newer songs that much.
No, it doesn't bother us at all. No, and there will always be that, you know. And you know, if you're lucky enough to have one or two songs that people really care about, that's great. And fortunately, in my career, I've done many films. I've done over 57 movies with music and stuff. And there's a lot of songs that people know from different movies that I've done. Back from, I think one of the first movies I did was Repo Man. I did many movies before Dust Till Dawn, and there was a lot of songs that were popular, especially in America, through these films. But in Europe, From Dust Till Dawn is the big one.
Yeah.
That's the one that everybody says
Yeah,
that's
like,
cool.
It's just like an iconic film for
Yeah.
the generation in the 90s
Yeah,
who grew
yeah.
up and saw this film, and it
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
awesome.
Cool.
And
I'm
you-
happy about it.
do you also like the acting part?
Yeah.
Do you like acting just?
Yeah, I did it my whole life. I went to university for it. I did plays and musicals and all kinds of
Yeah.
things. I had a television show in Mexico City. And then when I went to Hollywood, I did a lot of theater. We did a lot of equity theater, it's a union theater, and I did all that, singing, dancing, and acting for a long time. And I did, I've done, as an actor, I've done over 50 films as well, you know, small parts and sometimes big parts. So I've been doing it for a long, long time. And to me, since I was doing it since I was young, it's not that different than the music. It's related somehow. There's a dynamic, there's a place to be quiet, there's a time to be loud. So it's like music in a way, and it's related. And luckily, I could act and do the music, and sometimes I would do both in films, like in Dust Till Dawn or Desperado or whatever, Repo Man or whatever.
Yeah. And as you are in both businesses for a very long time, often people are telling, oh, in the 80s and in the 90s it was so great, you could earn so much money, and nowadays with the internet and all this stuff, it all went down the hill. Would
Yes.
you say that's true, or is it just you have to change your mind with the times?
I think it's true for the big artist.
Yeah.
I think they maybe are hurting more. I think for the younger artist or the independent artist, it's pretty good because you can network quicker, you can control things yourself. And coming from the punk days, I had my own record company and things, so I was, you know, used to this. We were on a big label. We were on Arista Records as a Cruzados. We were another band in the 80s. And that was good, but it was different. And I think this new way is good. I think when you get really big, then that's a problem, I think. You know, like Taylor Swift or somebody like that. Or, you know, are they getting their real residuals, even though they have enough money.
Yeah.
Or she does.
So would you say like the do-it-yourself way brings out more honest music because there are not so many people telling you, oh, maybe you should do this and go to the Super Bowl and do some performance and stuff like that?
I think yes and no, because I think also it gives the opportunity for people who aren't very truthful to be out there too. But the audience is smarter than that, and they can recognize it. And I think that's the difference, is that maybe it's better because the audience chooses, not the company giving you, you know, $50,000 to make one commercial, you know, and then brainwash the kids. So now the kids can choose, you know. But there will always be somebody, you know, there to make you think it's good.
Yeah. Then thank you so far for the interview, and we're really looking forward to the show tonight. I guess it will be really fun.
It should be
to see you
interesting.
live. Yeah, I hope so. And we will listen to the new solo you learned.
Oh, yes, okay. Oh, now I have to practice on the bus. Okay.
Deep and dark and lonely one.